You know exactly what y'all are thinking right now. Crazy dog. Do you know what time it is? Yeah, actually, I do know what time it is. It's time for another live stream. Haha. But in all seriousness, what's going on, everybody? Crazy dog back with a very special, very late night Cavaliers live stream. As it is indeed Wednesday, October 22nd, which means it's Cavs opening day. As the Cavs begin the season later on tonight in New York, I'll be live. Why are you doing this so freaking early in the morning? Couldn't you do this like when people are actually awake? Yeah, I wanted to get it done, right? I didn't want to have to, rush through this because I got a lot of stuff I got to do today, you know? I actually have a busy day ahead of me, so I don't want to have to rush through. Figured I'd do it now. This way, anybody that wasn't awake for it, they can wake up. They have something cool in their sub box thing, you can watch it when they wake up. As they're eating their breakfast and stuff. Sup, Nick says it's Cleveland Cavaliers game day. Yeah. So this is technically not my season preview, but my team preview. Because you look at this roster, top to bottom, inside and out, this might be one of the better rosters they've had. This is probably one of the better rosters, top to bottom. They've had some good teams, talented teams, but have they had a deep kind of team like this? Not really. They've had flaws. This team even has flaws of its own. And their main flaw isn't even, it has nothing to do with on the court. It's injuries. That damn injury bug just won't go away. So, as you see above, I have once again created a tier list. And the topics you have core, the main guys, the main bench. These are essentially the dudes you're going to see on a mostly nightly basis, aside from maybe a few games where they maybe just don't play much, God forbid, due to injury or something. You have role players. They're going to come in every once in a while, mainly for matchup purposes. Two-way, which that's self-explanatory, and then cheerleaders slash vibes. And there's only one guy that fits that role. Come on. It's pretty simple. You guys already know who that's probably going to be. Sup, Jacob? You like the 2016 team? We all do. We all do. And of course, you see the shirt. I know usually when I do a Cavs video, I wear a Cavs shirt to kind of go along with the theme. But this motto, made famous by Jarvis Landry on Hard Knocks back in 2018, kind of resides with the Cavs. That weak-ish don't live here no more. Because for the last couple of years, people have labeled this team weak-minded and feeble and just not built for this environment. We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, let's group everybody together. And then once I'm done here, I'll give my final thoughts and then I'm heading out. So, starting off with, of course, I'm not going to go in any sort of order. I'm going to start off with Dean Wade. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Dean, I think he's going to be a bona fide role player slash main bench guy. Depending on the team we face, I think he does get a role. somewhere. But I think we'll see him a lot. I mean, he had trouble last year. I think he had like a shoulder injury or something. You know, he's had injuries, and at his best, he is lights out. I still remember the game against the Celtics a few years ago. That dude went unconscious. He saw the Kelseys sitting courtside and was like, "Oh, I gotta show out." You know the whole meme of Jordan Poole seeing the baddies courtside and he just goes off. He saw the Kelseys and he's like, "Oh, Jason and Travis are courtside. I gotta show out for these dudes. All right, let me show out then." And he did. Oh, he showed out all right. He went unconscious. I think wasn't it was Kevin Harlan calling that game? Or was it Ian Eagle? Whoever was calling that game, he was losing his mind. It was awesome to watch. It really was. I think I even streamed that game too, and that was amazing. Oh my god. One of the most memorable games I've streamed, I think. Yeah. That was fun. But I think he's gonna have a good role. He's not a main bench guy, but he's like a main bench slash role player. He's like as close to being a main bench guy as you can be without actually being a main bench guy. Next, we have, of course, Evan Mobley. Obviously a core player. Duh. I mean, he is essentially a franchise cornerstone, defensive player of the year, and he's only going to get better. And people on Twitter were kind of funny. They were trolling around a little bit, being like, man, these guys on the Cavs rage baited him into, not rage baited, but they kind of baited him into being more aggressive. Because he's very mild mannered, he's mellow, he doesn't really talk a lot of ish, he doesn't, do that stuff. Just imagine if he did, though. Ooh, we need him to be more aggressive. And he's still going to get better, too. Every year, he's getting better and better. I love it. Now, do I think he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year this year? No. Because there's this 7 foot, like 6 French guy that plays for San Antonio who's probably going to win it the next, like, 4 years in a row. Like, the award is his if he wants it. Yeah, Evan Mobley, certified core player. Next, we got Naquan Tomlin. I believe this is Naquan. And he's a two-way player. Enough said. We're not going to see him much. Then we have DeAndre Hunter. Would I consider him a core player? No. But he's essentially the number one main bench guy. He's going to be in the starting lineup a lot this year because of Max Strus's injury. And honestly, I think he's going to take that number 3 spot in the lineup next to Spida and DG when he's back, and then Evan and JA. He's going to take that and he's going to run with it. He's essentially like a borderline 6-man or, starter. That's just the way he is. Then we got Craig Porter Jr. Again, he's going to be a role player. There we go. He's going to be a role player. Because when DG's healthy, you're not going to see him much. But until then, you're going to see a lot of CPJ. You're going to see a lot of my guy Craig. I'm glad we have him. Because we let Ty Jerome go. And man, when I heard we let Ty go for Sam Merrill, I'm like, man, this dude Craig better be damn good. And he's been solid from what I've seen. Next, of course, we brought back my guy Larry Nance Jr. And yeah, he's a definite main bench guy. He's like a main bench slash role player. You're not going to see him. You're going to see him most games, I think. Yeah. He's probably going to be one of the main guys to back up Evan, in my opinion. Right? Yeah, we're going to see him after the 82 games, the vast majority of those. I mean, he's going to play a lot, and he's still got a good role in the NBA for sure. Next, of course, we got to go with my guy DG. He's injured right now, but obviously he's a core four player. Jared Allen, same thing. Duh. And I might as well just put in my guy Spider. There's your core, the core four. Kobe Altman has said time and time again in press conferences he's not breaking up the core four. People have asked, would you ever consider trading Jared Allen? He's like, no. What? If they ever considered it, I think we could get a damn good return for him. But I caution, you only trade him if you are so damn sure Evan can be the center. Because if you trade JA and then you come to find out Evan can't handle the center duty, well, damn, dude, you just got rid of your, like, damn near elite center. And now we're cooked. Because there's one thing about Jared Allen. Yeah, I always joke around about his Pokemon love and everything, and how sometimes he just all of a sudden turns unserious on the court. He's like one of the elite shot blockers in the NBA. He's a lob threat. He's one of the best lob threats. His throw is fantastic. I don't see them doing that. I don't think they're going to trade him. Next, we have Max Strus. Yeah, pretty simple. He's got a good role. I'm going to put him ahead of Larry. He's going to be like one of the other main guys off the bench. Of course, he is a starter too. He and Dre are going to be sharing starter duties, especially when Max is hurt. But yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of him. And speaking of seeing a lot of him, Lonzo Ball. I'll put him right. He's going to be like right underneath Darius. You're going to see Lonzo a ton. The only time you're not going to see him is on back-to-backs. He'll play one game and then sit the next. And what I can't wait for is to see how this dude facilitates this offense. Because what I've heard so far is nothing but amazing things. This dude's got that amazing vision on the court. He'll get you the ball before you're even open. You wouldn't even realize you're open. And he'll get you the ball. It's like, you'll look back at tape and be like, wait, was that open? Zoe, how did you even notice? Zoe just be like, man, I knew. I used to actually think he was kind of awkward, kind of cringe. But I'll say this, he is definitely turned into one of the better players. Just need him to stay healthy. That's the biggest thing. Like I said, that's our main rival this year. Health. Now we're going to go to Luke Travers, obviously two-way player. We're not going to see him much. And then you have, of course, Sam Merrill, the guy they chose over Ty Jerome. He's going to have a good role, just like Craig. You're going to see him a lot, most likely, mostly. I mean, I don't know how much of him we're actually going to see. Then you got Thomas Bryant, and I like this dude a lot. I want to put him on main bench, but I'll put him at role player. I think they're going to use him mostly when we're facing teams with multiple big dudes, because you don't want to put yourself in a bad spot. Larry can defend at the 4 and the 5, but God forbid Jarrett gets hurt. Or Jarrett, they're probably going to try to lower Jarrett's usage a little bit. I think he played in every game last year. That's a lot of wear and tear. I don't know if they're going to do that with him this time. Maybe they do, but they lower his minutes a little bit, get him some actual rest. And guess what, guys? We have an actual center who can help him rest. We don't have a fossil or a stiff. or a fossilized stiff. Usually that's what we've had. We've either had an old man, a dude who is practically useless, or an old man that's practically useless. We haven't had a legit number 2 or 3 center. Can't even remember. Ed Davis was probably the best one we've had. Oh, what about Tristan? Tristan's a fossil. Come on now. Get real. He's a fossil. Now, Jalen Tyson, I'm going to put him in another role player. You're going to see him quite a bit. Honestly, you could even put him on main bench. I'll put him on main bench. I think we see him a lot. I think of the starting 10, because they're probably going to go 10 deep most nights, he's definitely going to be like number 7. Yeah, number 6. No, maybe like 7, like 8 or 9. Yeah. Obviously, the 6th man, Dre or Struce or Lonzo. It's going to be one of those 3, depending on the situation. Obviously, Dre's going to be starting because Struce is out. So by default, you're going to be seeing a lot of Zoe. You're going to be seeing a lot of Jalen and Larry. You might even see some Thomas and some Dean. I think we're going to go deep to start, and then once we get in like 20, 30 games in, he's going to shrink the bench a little bit. And we got, of course, the rookie and Tyrese Proctor. I'm going to say he has a role. Probably won't be much. I mean, we'll see what they do with him. Kind of hope we see him a lot, a little bit, just to get his feet wet, get him used to the environment with no DG, because you never know. There could be a time where we need to throw him out there. I don't want him to, freaking himself, as I say, you know, if he's put in a big spot. Like, God forbid, we're in the hunt for a playoff spot, fighting for number 1 seed late in the year, and DG's a little banged up, and Craig is ill or something, because that happens. And oh my God, we got to start the rookie. I want him to be comfortable out there. Obviously, playing next to Spite on them, I'm sure he'll be fine. I mean, he's played in some big moments in Duke. And then finally, of course, we got the cheerleader and vibes, because you guys are probably like, wait, why'd you add that final section if you're not going to put anyone there? There's only one person I'm going to put there. Winston. He's not on the team. Huh, just wait on it. Eventually, he will find his way on the team. They have an open roster spot after all. You know he will. Yep. You know damn well he will find a way on the spot. Now, overall, you look at the roster, it's solid, very good. A lot of money being paid into this roster. And we can all thank Dan Gilbert for that. Makes me wonder, what if the Guardians had Dan Gilbert as their owner? Well, if we had Dan Gilbert, owning the Guardians, we wouldn't be known as a cheapskate team. That dude would be like Steve Cohen. You would call us the Padres of the American League, small market team that spends a buku amount of money. I mean, let me just take a look at something real quick. For anyone that's really curious, Steve Cohen's net worth. Let me see what his net worth would be. I think it's like in the what, $14 million, like 14 some million billion. Let me see here. 23 billion for Steve Cohen. Steve Ballmer's at 155 billion. Yeah, Steve Ballmer, if he got his hands, if that dude got his hands on an MLB baseball team, you see what he does with the Clippers, right? Oh my God. If Steve Ballmer got his hands on a baseball team with no salary cap, and he's $155 billion to his name. If he owned the Guardians, every single major big prospect would be coming here. We wouldn't have a farm system. We wouldn't. Because this dude would be signing every big name player. We'd be like the freaking all-star team. We'd be throwing money at everybody. Pete Alonso, Guardian. Kyle Tucker, Guardian. Murakami, Guardian. Every single player, Guardian. Jose, Guardian. Frankie, still a Guardian. Like JT Realmuto, Guardian. Stephen Kwan, Guardian for life. Literally, he has enough money to where he could own the Browns, Guardians, and Cavs, which obviously he wouldn't be able to own the Cavs because he owns the Clippers. He would own the Guardians, the Browns, and the Clippers, and he would be able to keep all three teams uber competitive forever. So it's crazy about him. But what about Dan Gilbert? Because Steve Cohen, he's a massively rich man. Dan Gilbert, $26 billion. Yeah, 26 billion. Now, if you're wondering how did he get so damn rich, Rocket Mortgage. That's his company. Yep. He founded it in 1985. Yeah. Founded the online sneaker marketplace StockX. Is the freaking Pistons jersey sponsor? Oh, that because he's Detroit, so yeah. Man, I kind of wish Chris Ilitch would have done something stupid to Dan Gilbert that would piss him off to the point where Dan Gilbert would be like, you know what? I'm pissed at this guy. I'm gonna go. Oh, my camera froze. Eh, hang on, I gotta fix my thing here. There we go. Dan Gilbert, if he owned the Guardians, you look at the top free agents, and I bet you he'd go after most of them. Because one thing about Dan is he's like Jimmy Haslam is like Dan Gilbert, but not as successful at being good. Right? I mean, yeah, Jimmy, he's got some skeletons in his closet. The whole pilot flying J thing going, scandal. But at least he spends some money. His team hasn't been good, but he spends money. Dan Gilbert is just like that, except his team's good. And the thing about Dan is, if he knows your team's got a championship window, he will spend as much money as it takes to keep that team competitive. If we had Dan Gilbert, if Dan Gilbert owned the Guardians, we would have a bad team. Because honestly, he's kind of been more hands off lately, too. Unfortunately, he did have a stroke, but it sounds like he's doing a lot better, which is amazing to see. Obviously, he's not as, active as he was before. You still see him at games, in his spot, right on the baseline by the bench, always hanging out with the other owners and such. But if he owned the Guardians, build him a damn statue. We would legit build him a statue. They would rename the whole freaking area the Dan Gilbert Plaza. I don't know. What would we do without Dan? Where would we be without that lovely ass man? Right? He loves the city of Cleveland too. Honestly, I would be so tempted to if he ever did a Q&A session, right? on AMA asked me anything, I would literally ask him, Mr. Gilbert, we really appreciate what you do with the Cavs. But if you were ever given the opportunity, would you buy or at least be part of the ownership group that owns the Guardians? Right? He would rather be like the pocketbook of the ownership group, not actually own it, but like be the money supplier, or at least be part of it. What about David Blitzer? I believe David Blitzer, he's a part of Harrison Blitzer Entertainment Group, so unfortunately, Harris doesn't own the Guardians. David Blitzer is a 3.6 billionaire. So yeah, he does have some billions of dollars to his name. Now, the Dolan family, who's Larry Dolan? Okay, what about Paul? Paul Dolan, not readily available. Some sources indicate that his father Charles has a net worth of 5.4 billion. The thing is, from what I understand, his money, their wealth is not like Steve Cohen. It's like a part of like some complicated trust fund that they really can't just go spend on all willy nilly. It's weird. It's like, how are you a billionaire, but you can't spend the money on the thing that you own? You know, it would be like having a car, getting a Lambo, and barely driving it. Huh? I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that anymore because okay, I could go on for another hour just talking about ownership. Yeah, you see the team above. Honestly, like I've said, this team can go very far if they can stay healthy. That's the big thing. Now, the final thing, could they maybe go out and add somebody? Yeah, they could make a trade. They could sign somebody. I've already seen things about talking about them maybe going after Malik Beasley if he gets cleared. I would not be surprised if low key they pull like what Isaiah Bond did with the Browns. The moment he gets cleared, boom, he signs with the Cavs or somebody. Wouldn't be surprised. Again, we'll see what happens. So that's gonna wrap it up. It's 3 a.m. I'm gonna head out, go to bed, get ready for tomorrow. Got stuff to do. So shout out to Nicholas and Jacob for popping in. Shout out to everybody watching this on replay as you're eating your breakfast or enjoying the rest of your day. So with that being said, as always, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell. And go Cavs. I'm Crazy Dog, and I'm out. Bye bye. Have a good night, or maybe good morning. This team can be very good if they could just stay healthy.